when I heard the last speaker, some of the things that he said, they resonated with me, and I felt it would have been timely if I spoke now. I went to school with the girls, the Naipaul girls. Girls. They didn't say girls, they said girls. They spoke differently. They had an articulation that was beyond the convent walls. That's just how it was. I remember the Naipaul girls that way. They were special, every single one of them. Mira was in my class, and Savi was in the class below me. We had a wonderful time with the nuns. They were Hindus, but you did not see a separate encounter, separate type of encounter in this Roman Catholic, very Roman Catholic setting. And I was a real Roman Catholic girl in those days. Now I don't exactly eschew religion, but I realize that religion is one thing. You can do things religiously, and when you leave your place of worship, the next person who crosses you on the road, you let out an expletive, and you wouldn't think that you've just come from a place of worship. So I have put aside religion for relationship. And I like to think that that is better than religion. And because of relationship, I was coming here, and there was a fellow driving very slowly in front of me, and I was thinking maybe the weather, but then I said, no, 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 no. He has given us dominion over the works of his hands, and the weather is a work of his hand. So the rain clouds will hold their water, and we will have sunlight. And there you have it. Now, to follow on what you said, Vidya Naipaul. I didn't know of him except by reputation. You heard about him as a child, but oh yes, Vidya Naipaul, yes, whatever. And then you heard of V.S. Naipaul. And then you find yourself in London working with a sort of a rebel, Wally Looklai. And we're supposed to be doing the people's work in the office of the High Commission, but Wally is reading and laughing hilariously. What is that, Wally? House for Mr. Biswas, which he lent me, and I read House of Mr. Biswas. Well, I am here to tell you, I haven't read any other book of V.S. Naipaul, but I've collected them so that my progeny will read, and I plan to read them when I retired from daily work. But I'm not retired, I'm refired, so I haven't had the time to read the others, okay? So I'm in London, and I go to Oxford Street. And I see this person bounding down Oxford Street. I'm going up Oxford Street if you're at Marble Arch. He's coming down in front of D.H. Evans or one of those places. And I said, stop. You are V.S. Naipaul. I'd never met him, but I saw his picture. He said, yes, I am. And he accommodated me, a total stranger. Do you understand? And I said, I went to school with your sisters. We had a lovely exchange. And he continued, because he was whistling away going down Oxford Street. And he continued in that happy mood. That's the image I have of V.S. Naipaul. Now, many things have been said about him, and perhaps they're true in the regular sense of the word. You know, he may have rebuffed you or whatever, whatever. When somebody comes to you and said, well, would you answer a few questions? He said, yes, I would, but I'd rather not. In other words, I don't really want to answer questions. When you talk about a spade and so on, calling a spade a spade. Now, if I know the name of the garden implement, I'm going to call it a spade or a hoe or a rake or whatever it is. So I resonate with him insofar as that is concerned. You know, and another thing, the thing about the friends. My mother used to say, all skin teeth and laugh. So they're laughing at you as a skin teeth is not a real laugh. So I have many things I think in common with Sir Vidya. Okay? But I don't know that this country can truly honor him in the way that it ought to. He's universal. So I think the world will honor him. He did, in fact, receive the Trinity Cross before he received the knighthood. I was so happy that his country honored him before another country honored him. And as it happened, many years later, after that encounter in London, I won't be long. I'm generally not brief, but I will try to be brief, okay? After that encounter in London, we met again in Valsane at the house of his sister, Savi. He visited, and we had a conversation. His mother was alive then. And somehow or other, well, I found myself in the office of the president, and something was happening there. He had visited, and they were honoring him. And I do not know how it happened, but he and his wife and I, we connected. We had there's something that brought us together. Perhaps he read my calling a spade situation. So we connected. And they wrote me to say, whenever you're in England, please come and visit us. That never happened. And he's gone to this other place. He's transitioned. And I am quite certain that the life of Vidya Naipaul, Vidu, is going to impact, it will continue to impact many, many, many persons. Whatever people want to say because they like to ponder the negative, just let them say it is their freedom. But I am so appreciative of the fact that this country produced a man who did not go for mediocrity. And this is why he criticized his country, because he knew that of which we were capable. So just do it. Don't work to build another person's country in the way that we do as people from Trinidad and Tobago. We do it. They want us everywhere in the world because we work so well. When we are here, we want a bly. Not at all. Not in my book, not in his book. So he criticizes, yes, but to say that he did not like or appreciate his people. I remember one of the synonyms, it may have been Ashford, who was saying, oh God, he's not a nice boy like Sam Selvon. Why doesn't he say nice things about us? He told us the truth, but generally speaking, people do not like to confront the truth, or they don't like the truth to confront us. And I hope that we will remember him for that, in that he knew what this country could produce, and he was always advocating, whether through his books, his conversations, his not wanting to answer your questions, he was advocating that Trinidad and Tobago be the best that it could be, because I am convinced that God is going to use this country to tell the rest of the world how things go. I'm not callous about the murders and all the rest of it, but I know within my being that that is what will happen, that this country will let the rest of the world know how things should go. And people like V.S. Naipaul would have contributed to that thrust, because he made sure to let the rest of the world know that we are, I don't want to say world class, you know. It sounds so trite to say world class, but we are leaders in the universe. That's who we are. Thank you for the opportunity to be brief.